What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance video, and this one itself in particular is all about Usman and Kimberly. But before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, that is a member of Patreon, that is a subscriber, as we continue to grow. Now, with that being said, when it comes to the couple themselves in particular, we know that in the most recent episode of 90-Day Fiance Happily Ever After, Kimberly was back on the plane to the United States of America. But before that, they both had a Zoom call meeting to find out that, well, if they get married and Usman does get his green card, well, here's the thing. He won't be able to go back to Nigeria when he likes, at least not while he's in America waiting for the green card to actually be approved. But that was a minor situation. The bigger situation was then finding out that Usman is not allowed to go back to Nigeria to get married, because of course if he did that, then that means they will now be in a polygamy relationship. And in America, that is flat out illegal. And because of this is something that definitely put a pause on everything. And it's something that definitely had Usman and Kimberly thinking, whoa, okay, what are we going to do? What is going to be plan B? Because at the end of the day, they have already signed a contract, or they've got a contract anyway, where Kimberly has promised that Usman must marry another woman from Nigeria. So therefore, she can provide Usman with some kids, simply because Kimberly cannot. And also Kimberly doesn't want to be a mother again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come across this little cheeky freaking spoiler alert of a clip from next week's episode that is pretty much going to put a new spin onto things. Let's have a listen.
Everything was so confusing with the lawyer, so we need to talk about like how we want things done. We found
And then, God damn, let's get it.
out that taking a second wife is illegal in America. But it's really important to Usman that he has a child.
I feel like maybe I'm going to adopt.
And boom! As you can see, provided to us by ET Entertainment. Well, it looks like Usman has thrown out the idea of adoption. Now, here's the thing though. I don't know if that's something that is necessarily allowed within the culture. I don't know if that's something that is necessarily allowed in terms of, is it really, like, look at this way. Usman is meant to have multiple wives by his choice if one cannot give him children, or of course, if that's just something they're going to do, depending on what's the logistics of how it all works. But either way, the whole idea of having another wife was to have another child. Well, here's the thing though, because obviously he mentions adoption, has obviously a new way to look around it, so at least they can provide kids, which is a bit contradictory because I am pretty sure that he's meant to have children that are part of his own actual blood. And that is the whole idea behind, being traditional, having children and whatnot. But this was Kimberly's reaction.
What? I don't understand. Who the raises the child? Me?
I'm asking, do you?
I mean, that's the question. Who is going to raise a child? And clearly, like I said before, Kimberly is in a position where she does not want to have any more children and she does not want to raise another child. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the spoiler stuff in particular right there of the next episode coming. This is the killer question. What is going to happen? Is having an adoption going to be an option? And to be honest with you, is this something that we see Usman's family looking to agree with? Absolutely not, because an adoption was not a part of the contract. He marrying a younger female and having children with her and starting a family with her is exactly what was a part of the contract. Hence the reason why Usman made it abundantly clear that he wants to have both the US and the Nigerian passport, or at least the entry, so at least he can commute from one country to another whilst he's in America. He can at least see his honeyboo, shall I say. And then obviously whilst he's in Nigeria, he can go and see his family that he's obviously going to create at some point. So of course, him mentioning the adoption doesn't make any sense to the slightest. So really and truly, this is the question that I ask. Is Usman willing to do whatever it takes to get himself to America? Is he willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that he has that green card secured, so therefore he has the ability to go back and forth? Because maybe he's afraid to say to Kimberly, okay, it's okay, we won't have any children, knowing she knows how important it is to the family. And if he said that, that is something that could scream red flags. And of course, if red flags were screamed, well, therefore Kimberly would definitely be able to put a lot of things together that maybe he really is using me. Whether or not Kimberly would actually acknowledge that is a different conversation, because we've seen how desperate, needy she has been to keep him around. So much she even proposed to himself in particular, as well as all the other things that she's done in terms of spending X amount of money to see him, make some money on him. So really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, this is quite interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. I'm definitely looking forward to the next freaking episode to see exactly how that conversation goes down, because clearly Kimberly is in no position where she's even looking to consider children. But at the same time though, Kimberly will give you one reaction 1 minute, next minute she'll be like, well, if it's to keep him, I better allow him to have that adoption. But either way though, I think for me personally, this is showing more and more how strong either one, Usman really loves Kimberly and he really wants to be with Kimberly, or how much or what he's willing to give up, or what he's willing to do just to make sure that he secures that green card. So therefore he has that license to go back and forth, if you dig what I'm saying, from Nigeria to the United States of America. Either way though, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know exactly what you are thinking. Do you think Usman, actually no, I want to know from any Nigerian, would your families actually allow you to adopt, knowing that the man is allowed to marry multiple women until he can actually produce children of his own freaking blood? That is the one that I want to know more than anything else. So if you're Nigerian, you know this, let us know in the comment section, please, and we can most certainly talk about it. Everybody else, do you think this is Usman just trying to find his way to make sure he can make it to America no matter what necessary or whatever? I don't know. Either way though, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace.